Good morning, I'm Aaron Thompson, and today I'm going to demonstrate and show you how to check all the fluids in your vehicle. Now the first one we're going to check today is the transmission fluid. The first thing you want to do is get it on a level ground, and to actually check transmission fluid you have to check it with the engine running. We're going to start the vehicle. And this dipstick right here is actually the transmission fluid dipstick. Now it does lock in place, so the first thing you're going to do is unlock it and then pull it out and clean it off as you're pulling it out. And then put it back in all the way down and then pull it back out, pull it off to the side, and you should get your reading. Now right now, for it being cold, it's in the correct spot. Clean off the fluid and put it back in the filler tube, and then lock it back in place. You can come over and shut the vehicle off. And now we're going to check the oil. Now the oil, most of the time, will be shown by a yellow lettering or a yellow dipstick handle. In this case it's a yellow handle. Once again, you're going to pull it out, clean off all the fluid, and then put it back into the dipstick tube, pull it back out over to the side, and you can check your fluids on again. And this one is in the correct condition. And there will actually be little hash marks on the dipstick tube, or on the dipstick itself, that will tell you, if it's full, if you need to add a quart, if it's low. Place that back into the dipstick tube. And the next thing we're going to check is the coolant. The coolant will have an overflow reservoir that should be clear to where you can actually see the fluid inside. You can see if it's dirty, you can see the actual level of it. And somewhere on this reservoir it'll say minimum and maximum, and you can actually check the levels from there. As well as with the brake fluid reservoir will be on the master cylinder, and it's clear. It will have a minimum and maximum, and you can actually see the level, you can see how dirty it's getting, and it's normally .3 or .4 brake fluid. Then you have your windshield washer fluid. It was normally shown with a picture like that. You just make sure it's full. Most of the time there's not a dipstick to tell you how much there is in there. You just fill it up to the top, you're good to go. Now with power steering, a lot of times the reservoir is down on the pump or very close to the pump. This right here is going to be a power steering fluid. You twist off the cap, clean off the fluid, and you're going to put it back in all the way, pull it back out, and then you can check your fluids. As right now it's on the full mark. You just clean that off, put it back in, make sure you secure the cap back onto the fluid reservoir. And those are the basic fluids that every vehicle has today. It's an easy way to check them. If you need to add any fluids, you can add fluids to them. With the coolant system, make sure that the vehicle has been shut off for at least a half an hour to take the pressure out of the system, because if you pull the cap off, it'll blow the fluid out because it's pressurized. All the rest of them are not pressurized systems, so you can just add fluid as needed. And that is the demonstration and explanation of each fluid, how to check them. You fill them with the correct fluids. For transmission fluids, look in your owner's manual. It'll have a certain transmission fluid for which type of vehicle you have.